part of the world that you are. And welcome to Learnamytes, where learning is for all and all that we do is for learning. Today is the day of Friday matinee and we are going to review a movie which released in 2020. Name of the movie is Soul. Soul was a brilliant animation movie. You can watch Soul on Disney Plus Hotstar, and trust me, it's a 98-minute joyride, fun ride, and there are so many things to learn from Soul. Before we start the review, request you to like and share this video as much as you can, and please subscribe to the Learnamytes channel. Now, Soul is the story of a jazz musician, a singer called Joe Gardner. Now, Joe on a particular day, on a given day, is unable to meet ends and he's struggling with life. But he gets an offer from a famous musician called Dorothy Williams, and she says that Joe, you can play with me. Joe decides to give up a full-time job as a band teacher and decides to take up the job or take up this role with Dorothy Williams because that is what his passion is all about. Unfortunately, while he is on his way to the nightclub to meet Dorothy Williams, he falls into a manhole and lands at a place called Life Beyond. Now, this place called Life Beyond is a place which Joe realizes is somewhat like hell. So, he does something, he somehow manages to escape that, and he goes to a place called Before. So instead of Beyond, he goes to a place called Before. He picks up a mentor badge and he now decides to become a mentor. Now there are those senior mentors or the leadership team, and all of them are known as Jerry. They tell him that now you have to become a mentor to a soul and you have to help the soul to find a spark, and then they get a special badge and they can return to the earth. Now Joe is secretly happy that what he'll do is he'll mentor the soul and send the soul back to his own body, because he sees himself on a hospital bed, and this is how the idea strikes him. Now it so happens that Joe meets a soul called 22. Now 22 is a young soul and who's absolutely not interested in going back to the earth. The soul says that I have been mentored by the likes of Mother Teresa, by the likes of Abraham Lincoln, by the likes of Muhammad Ali, but still I never found any spark to return to earth. Joe decides to help him and to help 22 find the spark, but all his attempts, they fail. Now Joe strikes friendship with 22, and 22 realizes that it is important for Joe to go back to his own body. 22 tells Joe that we can go to a place called the Zone, where it's a place between the earth and the heaven. So it's like that frozen place, and there is a person, a kind of a magician, a tantric called Moonwind, who can help us go back to the earth. Now it so happens they meet Moonwind, and Moonwind agrees that okay, I can do that for you. But while he does that, it so happens that 22 enters the body of Joe, and the soul of Joe enters the body of a therapy cat. Now this is where the fun ride, the joy ride begins. Joe always, as the therapy cat now, has to guide 22, who is not interested in living the human life. So literally, how to take bath, how to shave, and all those things, Joe keeps on guiding 22, as Joe is now the therapy cat. So finally, they meet Moonwind, who's also the tantric, the magician, at one of the squares, when Moonwind tells them that when you go back to the earth, you can meet me at so-and-so place in New York. They meet Moonwind at that particular square, and Moonwind says that please come back tonight, and I will do something, and I'll make sure that your bodies are exchanged, and maybe we can free 22, because anyways 22 is not anyways does not want to stay back on the earth. So we'll do something about it. So as a grid, the entire day 22 spends living the human life. So by doing small little things like walking on the road, and literally in one of the scenes, 22 is lying near a drainage, and this air puffing out of that drainage, and 22 is enjoying all of that. Now finally, when they meet Moonwind late in the evening, 22 tells Joe, who is now the therapy cat, who is now in the body of the therapy cat, tells him that, well, I don't want to exchange our bodies. I believe that I'm enjoying it, and runs away. Now there's a chase sequence where the cat, the therapy cat, Joe, is following 22, and it goes on and on and on. And in between, they are caught by Terry. Terry is the person from the beyond universe who knows that something has been missed between these two souls, between these two individuals, and he takes them back to the universe beyond, to the beyond. Now this is where Joe somehow convinces 22 and grabs the badge, and again comes back to Earth with the help of Moonwind, and now finally gets into his own body. He performs that night. This happens throughout the day, and during the evening, late night, he performs with Dorothy Williams at the band, and everyone appreciates Joe. This is Joe's one lifetime dream, and his mother Liba is also extremely happy. But even after giving this performance, which Joe has been preparing for years together, always dreaming of becoming a piano player, a jazz musician, he's still not able to enjoy the performance because he keeps on thinking about 22. He remembers all those events which 22 enjoys, which was walking, which was watching the sky, which was eating or rather sipping a lollipop, and which was even enjoying a haircut at a barber shop. Again, Joe approaches Moonwind and finally goes back to the beyond and says that I'm going to return. It's okay even if I leave the earth now. I want to return this badge to 22, and I would like 22 to go back to the earth again and enjoy her life. Now this is where, just looking at the good deed of Joe, Jerry, the mentor at the life after and life beyond, decides to give Joe yet another chance and also agrees to send Joe back to the earth. 22 is also happy and returns back to the earth, and this is what the movie is all about. Now, if we look at the trivia of this movie released in 2020. The original date was somewhere in November, but due to the pandemic, it released around December 2020 on Disney Plus Hotstar and a few select theater releases back in the US. The movie is, like I said, a 98-minute joyride, and the movie was nominated for 3 Academy or Oscar awards. Eventually, it won 2 awards. One for the best animation feature, and one was for the best music score, which was by Trent Reznor and team, the music score. The movie was written and directed by Pete Docter, was again a celebrated filmmaker in the animation, the animation space. And of course, if you look at the writers of the movie, it was along with Pete Docter, it was also a team of writers. So there were 2 more writers with Pete Docter. If you look at the star cast of this movie, so the voiceover of Joe was by the Academy Award winner, the brilliant Jamie Foxx. So Joe's voiceover by Jamie Foxx, the voiceover of 22 by Tina Fey, and the voiceover of Moonwind was by the famous British talk show host Graham Norton. So in a way, this was a movie of all these individuals coming together and really giving us that wonderful movie. If you look at what are the learnings of this movie, or what could I take from this movie? So it was about hope. Throughout the movie, it has been shown that in spite of being somewhere between the heaven and the hell, and leaving his body, still Joe is very, very hopeful. He's very, very optimistic of again coming back to the earth in his own body and then again following or pursuing his dreams. So one was hope. The second was, this living life to the fullest, as we say. They have shown it superbly, they have shown it brilliantly in the movie, where every small little thing, when 22 gets into Joe's body as the soul, 22 enjoys each and everything, like those small little things. And of course, apart from living life to the fullest, the third learning which I could find out is find your purpose. Initially, Joe feels that his purpose is to become a jazz musician, to become famous, to become a celebrity, to be appreciated by people. But on the night when he gets all of that while playing the show along with Dorothy Williams, he realizes that no, this is not the purpose of his life. His purpose of life is to just live on. And finally, it is all about your positivity. So the fourth learning which I could understand was being positive. You have to stay positive, and somehow things are going to work the way you want them to work. So this is what the soul of the movie, or this is what the movie Soul is all about. So thank you so much for watching this video. Please like and share this video as much as you can, and please subscribe to the Learnamytes channel. See you again next week with yet another video. Till then, have a great time. Thank you.